yet. Um, Having a conversation with this guy over Instagram about the jujitsu point system, which is messy to say the least. I thought about, so now I'm just into talking, so now it's talking time. So I thought about like what content I'm really like making here, and what I think it is I think it has to do with I'm just filming myself. Like this is just Devin live. This isn't, and that's why I have to be goal directed. That's why this is writing the God engine. Like I have a goal for this live stream. I'm trying to produce something outside the live stream. This live stream itself is not the goal of the live stream. It is a byproduct of the filming of the pursuit of a goal. Also sleeping. That's the critical point to me because I did sleep last night. I think this green tea detox thing is working. So if nothing else, this is just time where I film myself drinking the effing 2 pitchers of green tea that I set aside for myself every day so I can actually thoroughly test whether or not just doing this continually is going to help me sleep. Because if it is, then I don't have to take recrystallized paracetam. And if it isn't, then I am going to take recrystallized paracetam, which I have to recrystallize, but I'm very grateful I have to recrystallize and that I know it's going to work because it would just be an absolute huge pain in my butt if I didn't have any backup plans. But green tea, fasting, like I feel like this is very sound stuff here. Like this is like at the end of the day, I feel like I don't think that there's anything outside of the dysfunctions that I've described that could be creating additional dysfunction with my NMDA receptor that is only fixable by paracetam. I think paracetam's helping the mitochondria in a big way through increased membrane fluidity and other mechanisms that I haven't fully researched yet, but I don't know what it's doing beyond that, and I don't know how necessary that is, but I do know that it has BHT in it, and I don't want to take it because the BHT is going to cause me to have problems like it was, and then I'm not thoroughly testing it, and it's like, even though when I took it with the BHT, it worked, it didn't really work to the point where like it stopped working after 2 weeks, and it's like it worked really well. Like I didn't have to drink tea. Really, I could drink different kinds of tea. Hello from Gainesville, Virginia. Do you know an Abby and Grant Boulis? They're just friends of mine. I think they live in Gainesville or near Gainesville. Like I don't know. If you meet an Abby or Grant Boulis, they're cool. You'd know if you met them. They're pals of mine. They're cool. They live in Virginia. I met my wife in Virginia. I am from southern New Hampshire. I live in Salem, New Hampshire, right now, in the outskirts of Salem, New Hampshire. So, I'll continue the conversation with that black belt about jujitsu later. That's kind of like why I just started this because I was like, if I just start the live stream, I'll just get talking about the live stream stuff, and I'm not going to end up talking about. I'm not going to end up just messaging this guy continuously about the jiu-jitsu point system. Though I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I would like to maybe have him on the podcast or something just to like chat with him about the jiu-jitsu point system because jiu-jitsu is a pretty small community, and I think that some focus over time could really generate some significant changes in the rule set. So that brings me back again to the live stream. Like, what am I filming here? I'm filming me drinking these 2 pitchers of tea to see if it helps me sleep tonight so I can. There's now a tropical storm in the Caribbean. I knew a kid once who memorized every single storm for the last 10 years and could point at tree damage and tell you which storm caused it based off of very detailed analysis. I actually grilled him on it just to see if he actually could like justify it because he was kind of like, I was like, okay, man, yeah, sure, that tree limb came down in the hurricane in 2004. Like, sure, man. And he'd be like, no, and he'd show me. He'd be like, no, like the rot patterns and like the amount of winds it would need to knock down a tree limb of that size and when they I was like, it's pretty impressive. So that's what I'm doing. I'm filming me drinking this tea, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why I'm filming me drinking this tea. But that's fundamentally what I'm doing right now, and I'm really filming myself solving my ongoing sleep problems, which I'm just writing a book about how I'm doing it because I need to organize my thoughts into something coherent about this thing because it's just been so long I've been dealing with this. Um, it's called Melissa, the hurricane. Um, so I need to like organize my thoughts. So that's what I'm doing. I'm setting aside time to organize my thoughts, and during that time, I'm currently testing my most important hypotheses. Like if I had to test eating 10 pounds of steak, I'd do that live too. I'm just kind of like I'm filming because that's how it's. Why am I having sleep problems? Dude, that's what I've been trying to figure out my entire life. That's like the story of my life. Why am I having sleep problems? I'm writing a book about it. I'm trying to figure it out. I think it has something to do with the feedback loop between mitochondrial dysfunction, autoimmunity, iron retention, dysfunctional NMDA receptors, and like brain damage from not sleeping for most of my life. Hey. You got to keep the jokes somewhat on topic, okay? Like if the jokes are disruptive, I'll just block people cuz I do drink green tea right now. Um love your content. Thanks, man. I try, you know. Why am I having sleep problems? I just answered that. 20 pounds of bananas. I'm not going to eat 20 pounds of bananas. I only eat beef, salt water, raw liver, raw fish eggs, and I take a host of vitamins that I make back there. Um, I make them myself because I can't buy vitamins that are high enough quality for me. So I just make them myself. So, and I'm drinking green tea. So, no, I'm not going to eat a bunch of bananas. Though I do like bananas and I have been known to eat bananas. And actually, when I was fixing the autoimmunity insomnia problem that I had my junior year of high school, I did eat lots of bananas and sweet potatoes and yogurt. But now I find that doing the lion diet works better, though I do think there's a large degree to which we force our bodies to adapt to things, but I believe that it's better to force my body to adapt to this, given what I believe to be the conditions of my body based off of tests and analysis that I've done over years that I talk about on my channel. I just kind of, my whole channel is like how I've arrived at these conclusions and how I've arrived at the decision to just caffeine after 12 p.m. You know, I agree with you. I went years without consuming any caffeine. Now I drink tea, green tea, steeped a very specific way to fall asleep. And there's some complex biological reasons I do that I'm documenting here because I think it's a detox issue. Like fundamentally, I think that it's a metabolic detox issue. Like basically, in order to engage in healthy metabolism, we need certain chemicals and we need certain chemicals to not be present. And we need to use certain chemicals while we eliminate them at a healthy rate. If anything fucks with that, then you end up with accumulation of chemicals that that'll mess with the rest of the process. Like iron will accumulate, proteins will accumulate. I think this is a lot of what people consider to be prion disorders, or I think it's at least related to prion disorders because prion disorders aren't as straightforward as just having prions be there, because there are cases where people will have prions present and have genetic predispositions to prion disorders, but the prion disorders do not progress. And it's like, well, why is that? It's like, well, because their immune system's working really well, because their metabolism's healthy, because they have all their, like, it all comes down to, like, this image, I believe. This is the highest description of this phenomenon that I've described yet. And go back to the previous God Engine live streams if you want me to get into that image in more detail. And then come and ask me more specific questions on the live streams that I'm going to be doing every day, because I'm just going to be doing this every day because I have sleep problems all the time. So because I have sleep problems all the time, it's simply incumbent on me to work on them all the time. And because I've created my own supplements that are now commercially available, and I'm writing a book that I'm going to, like, this is just my life. So I'm like, well, there are people out there who do have these problems. So I'm just going to make this available to them. And hello, the Snith Wizard. So I'm just going to make these things available to them. And then if people need help with the thing that I'm really good at, then I'll be in a good position to help them. And if they don't, then I'll just do something else while I continue helping myself with those systems. And honest to God, I am actually just going to continue building these systems, even if they don't make me any money for like 20 to 30 years, because I just have done so much research that I know that these systems are going to be the future of health, fitness, and high performance. So I'm just going to bet on them because once the research sinks in, people will. Blessed with no sleep issues, plenty of other issues. Yeah, sleep issues are like, I'm not going to say the worst because, like, if I had a pike driven through my face, that would really suck and cause brain damage. That would be worse than what I'm dealing with right now. What are your issues, my good friend, if you would like to, or my person I've just met on this live stream, if you would like to share? We could talk about those, or I'll keep talking about my issues. Sleep issues are really bad, though, because it's like, once you stop sleeping, everything else starts going. Like digestion always goes next. I end up with a constant explosive diarrhea, which is another indicator to me that I'm experiencing a toxicity issue, which is why I'm drinking the green tea. And that's why I'm doing the live streams, because it's like you can see it. I just like this is just like a loop that's been going forever. It's quite a complicated loop too. And it's got a lot of different components to it. Like I just took vitamin D before I came on here, and I'm just drinking this tea, and it's like I actually drank more tea last night and this morning because right now it's about 3 pots of tea a day and I sleep. And I'm thinking I'm going to hit a saturation point because I know that the polyphenols and catechins that I'm specifically extracting with the exact way I'm making this tea saturate into your tissues. So at some point I'm going to hit a saturation point where I'm basically like now I'm close to it because I keep on experiencing weird waves of nausea and tiredness that are followed by like biophysiological peace and solid bowel movements. So I know I'm hitting a positive detox threshold. I can get into any of those points, but like I'm hitting a positive detox threshold over the last like since I started doing these daily live streams. I'm just filming it. So you can see my attitude changing over the course of the live streams. And then you can go back and watch my old videos, whatever. I can riff. I have time to drink the tea. I have time to answer questions. I'm going to be ripping a dab pen on this right now because that's just what I'm doing at the moment because my brain's all. Because basically, because if I smoke weed all day then and drink green tea, then my brain's just the fuzziness kind of turns into like by like 10, 11. So then I sleep. And it's like it probably happened without the weed, or I can make it happen without the weed. But I've just smoked weed for so long when I have insomnia that I'm just going back to it because the main thing that matters is me sleeping. And then once I sleep for like a month, I just don't really want to smoke weed anymore because I'm like, well, I could feel really, really mentally sharp, or I could be stoned. And then I'm like, I'll just be mentally sharp. Right now, I'm like, I could feel really, really tired and like I'm incredibly sleep deprived with brain damage, or I could feel stoned. And I'm like, this is not weed, by the way. Inhaling's a whole nother thing. You gotta figure out how to do that again. There's like techniques I figured out to like inhale really well where you get like super, super blitzed off of like one hit. It's live resin, by the way. I wouldn't really smoke anything else because it just gives me headaches. So, every day I do a page at least. Because right now, I did a 4.5 day fast like last week. I think it's 9. I think this is day 9. I just go back to the last day. Yep, that was day 8. So today is day 9 of writing the God Engine. And Tuesday 10/21/2025. So that's what I'm doing is I'm just like, okay, I have like right now I'm not really I haven't slept consistently for a month. So basically my goal for right now is to sleep consistently for a month, but I'm testing that because the last time I slept consistently for a month I was taking paracetam. And then paracetam built up enough sleep momentum that I was able to continue sleeping. So I took paracetam for like 3 weeks, and then I like went like I'd have to go back and watch the daily videos because I recorded exactly what I was doing. because it's just kind of like, I mean, I could just take notes, but I feel like recording it, like this is actually helpful for people. Like I coached people. I literally coached people with insomnia 3 years ago. Lots of people. And I'd wished when I was coaching people that I'd had this, what I'm doing right now, of me going through insomnia the last time, so I could show them what it looks like when I'm doing it. So they could be like, oh, this is just a huge pain in the ass. It's not because I'm doing it wrong. It's like, no, this is just a huge pain in the ass. Like, if you're making any progress at all consistently, that's awesome. Like, this is just a huge pain in the ass. There isn't like just an easy fix for insomnia. I mean, it's easier than dying. Actually, dying is probably easier, but at least I get like, I always tell people this. I had some suicidal friends in high school, and I tell them this. I would say, you know, man, like I get why, because I did actually get like why you'd want to put your brains out, because I've just gone through so much insomnia. Like I kind of understand the places the mind goes. Then I'd sleep again, it'd immediately go away. So I also have this weird perspective on suicidal thoughts where like I've had probably the most amount of suicidal thoughts for someone who's not suicidal. And you're like, well, how do you have suicidal thoughts and you're not suicidal? It's like, because I just can't sleep. So I'll not sleep for a week. I'll be hallucinating and I'll be having crazy suicidal thoughts. And then I'll get 8 hours randomly. And then I wake up and I'm like, at least for 4 hours, I'm like, I feel good. I don't want to kill myself. That's fucking crazy. What the hell? I've just had this experience so many times that when I like have suicidal thoughts now, like I'm just like, sure thing, insomnia demon. I'm gonna document all of this. It'll be your downfall. Like whatever. Like, yeah. I want to kill myself. And the second I sleep, I don't. Sure. No, I'm experiencing brain dysfunction. So I can just see suicidal thoughts as clearly brain dysfunction because whenever I sleep, they go away. So I would talk to people in high school who were suicidal. They would be like, and actually, no one that I talked to who's been suicidal has killed themselves yet. Come wood. I mean, it's not really my doing, but who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something I said to them helped. You know, to talk to people if they're suicidal, something you might say could help. So go for it. But I would tell them, I'd be like, you know, reality's got a lot of problems, and I see why you would want to kill yourself. But at the end of the day, have you ever found anywhere you can get a better meal? Like, there's nowhere else you can get a good meal besides reality. Like where else are you gonna get the good eats? Death? I don't think they got good food there, man. Like, the food probably sucks, okay? Like, if you kill yourself, the food's probably gonna suck. It's just probably gonna suck. Like, really, like what are the chances you kill yourself and then after killing yourself, the quality of your daily meals improves? Basically zero. You're new here. So basically, I've had like I I have what would be typically described as fatal insomnia, except for the fact that I've got it to go into remission a few different times in my life. And more, every time it goes into remission for longer. And so then it starts looking more like Morvan syndrome or anti-NMDA receptor encephalopathy. Both, I think, are only other conditions that produce total insomnia. But they're all very rare and poorly documented. So I don't really know if we even understand what this kind of insomnia is. I'm just trying to sleep every night, and no, I don't. I just try to sleep. This is literally like I literally have 2 things of tea that I'm just drinking on this entire call, and I've already drank another one today because this is the only thing. This and taking paracetam that could be radioactive and definitely has BHT in it is the only thing that helps me sleep right now. And I've only eaten beef, salt, and water for the last 24 months. So, and that's basically just preventing me from dying. So, like, we out here, I don't, I don't know. Like, it's just funny because I'm still sleep deprived because I slept last night and the night before last night, but the week before was like, not good. Like an hour of sleep. It wasn't total insomnia though. It was like an hour of sleep a night. In micro sleeps, 30 seconds every 10 minutes. It was effing bizarre. But since I've been pounding organic gunpowder green tea that's steeped for a long time to extract all the catechins and polyphenols, giving it that lovely amber color, and I drink like a gallon of that a day or more, That's helping me sleep because I believe the root cause of the insomnia has to do with a detox issue that is causing mitochondrial dysfunction that creates the NMDA receptor dysfunction and the autoimmunity, which is what the Morvan syndrome and the anti-NMDA receptor encephalopathy forms of insomnia manifest mostly. And I just think these things are like kind of poorly understood, but I'm very appreciative to everyone who's done research on insomnia. So I'm just doing these live streams just to document. This is literally what I've been doing for the last 2 years and for most of my life, is just sitting down trying to figure out why I can't sleep. So now I'm just documenting it because I've done at a conservative estimate 24,000 hours of research just to recreate all my YouTube videos, which are basically just about this topic for the most part, would take you 1,000 hours. And I've only done YouTube for the last 3 years, and it's never taken up more than 10% of my daily workflow. And I've been doing this research pretty much nonstop since I was 16. I'm 26 years old now. So that gives you a good understanding of about how much research into these studies on insomnia I've done and how much experimenting I've done based on the research. So now I'm just literally ranting live on YouTube because my brain hasn't worked for the last 2 years. So I haven't even really been able, because I haven't been sleeping for like the last 2 years, except for the last few months. And I'm sharing how I achieve that sleep. And I'm also just happy that I can even talk right now without experiencing splitting headaches and puking. So I'm talking as much as I can because it's also helping my brain update itself on what's happened over the last 2 years, because I'm even having a hard time remembering that, which is why it's a good thing I filmed so many videos over the last 2 years. But I honestly have I have serious brain problems right now from not sleeping so much. And just talking about it while sharing the information, while writing a book, trying to figure out what even caused it and what I'm going to do about it, doing that on these live streams for people who are on the Lion Diet and who also have followed my YouTube channel for ages for either insomnia reasons, their own reasons, etc., talking to people and just kind of sharing all of this is honestly like synchronizing my daily schedule with like the speech function of my brain, with like what I need to do to keep sleeping, with like feeling like a normal, sane human being, which are all things I've struggled with over the last 2 years. So this is just kind of like a sanity session that I'm filming, and the filming of it encourages me to talk, and I just always love talking. So I'm just talking about what I've been through to try to make it make more sense to me while I write it all down and answer people's questions on a live stream, drinking enough tea to medicate a horse so I can sleep tonight, because I think this is detox issues, and I go through exactly why I think it's detox issues on the previous live streams. So hopefully this will be valuable to people in the future who want to really, really understand exactly what's going on, because I have met people who are going through what I've gone through and who have been through it, and et cetera, et cetera. And some people have died, and it's been documented, and it's shit. And I don't know. This makes me feel more sane because I've lost my mind numerous times battling insomnia. So I'm just filming it because ultimately it's like a revenge thing. Like I mentioned the suicidal thoughts earlier. So I just determined a long time ago, when I was really going through the thick of it when I was 16, and I just screaming in my car like a lunatic because I just had no idea why I'd been selected for this incredible form of suffering. And I couldn't sleep, and it hadn't even been documented yet. So I thought I was probably insane, but I'm like, why did I have to have the form of insanity where I hallucinate not sleeping? Because this feels like the worst form of torture. And then, but I like knew it was real. Like I knew it was just like horrible. And the thoughts were telling me to kill myself and that it would never end. I was like, no, if I kill myself, it never ends. And then I was like, wait, this is a demon, because I don't want to kill myself. So then I basically created a way for me to externalize my suffering into the form of the insomnia demon. And I realized that because I have this problem that I'm having a really hard time solving and doctors can't help me solve, other people must have this problem too. And maybe people have the problem because no one's ever documented the problem, because the demon makes everyone kill themselves before they can even document the problem. So my goal is now to document the problem, understand the problem, not kill myself. If I do die, it has to be from insomnia so that they do an autopsy and conclude that insomnia is killing people, which is the only reason I even know that I'm not crazy 100%, because people made it kill them, and it kills you due to respiratory failure caused by brain damage. And again, you see how fast I'm talking about this. This is just 24,000 hours of research coming through in a live stream of consciousness that's connected to what I'm doing on a daily basis and what I have been doing on a daily basis for the last 2 years and really the last 10 years. And I'm trying to make that understandable to people, as many people as possible, through this live stream, through the book I'm writing on the live stream, through other things I'm doing through social media, because there are other people who are going through this. I am not this incredibly unique human being who's the only person on earth who's had this experience, which is great. You know, that would really, really suck if I was just completely the only one. I'm not. It's rare, but there are other people who have this experience, and a lot of them watch my YouTube videos because I've just spent years talking to these people and trying to find them. And it started with like people at gas stations. Like I remember when I first started sleeping, I was filling up my car at a gas station on the way to UMass, where I was going to college, and I was just like, I don't know, like I just was like crying with happiness or something because I could sleep, and this like girl saw me who was about my age, and she was like had like long black hair and like pale skin and like slight build, a little bit like shorter than me, but like kind of a serious face, and like looked at me, and I was like. I looked at her and she was like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "I'm crying with happiness." And she said, "Why are you crying with happiness?" I said, "I'm crying with happiness because I can finally sleep." She's like, "Why can you finally sleep?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I think it's because I've only eaten beef, salt, and water for the last 6 months." And she was like, "I can't sleep either." And I was like, "Ever?" And she was like, "Ever." And I'm like, "I've gone over 40 days without sleeping." She's like, "I haven't gone quite that far, but that's basically what I'm experiencing." And I'm like, "Try beef, salt, and water. Maybe it'll work for you." And I just got in my car and drove off. I never spoke to her again or saw her again or heard from her again in any form. But I had these experiences with people, and they were just, and I started having them more and more. And then I started realizing like I should get all these people together and like try to like actually help them systematically. So I made the Week to Warrior Kettlebell Club because that idea coincided with COVID. And I got a lot of these people together, but it's kind of based around kettlebells because I didn't really know exactly what was causing the insomnia. I was like, I only eat beef, salt, and water, but now I eat other things sometimes. And now I know it's T regulatory cells that build up as a consequence of high metabolism and doing everything else right for the most part that allow my body to suppress latent autoimmune responses, even though iron continues to build up. I can articulate these things a lot more, which is why I'm doing so, because I don't always have the ability to. Like, if I haven't slept, I can't even articulate this stuff. So it just sucks. So I'm just trying to get all this out there. So if I'm ever experiencing total insomnia again, hallucinating and brain damage, unable to communicate, I can at least show all this stuff to a doctor. And then maybe they can get me a specialist who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about. And then maybe it'll save my life. And maybe these will save someone else's life. Because maybe someone could show these to a specialist. They're going through it and they can't articulate it. And I don't really know. I just have this really bizarre problem that I've been dealing with my whole life. So now I'm filming the dealing of it while I fix it, because I've realized in a very deep way that other people are healed and helped by me just valiantly struggling forward despite not even really knowing what I'm doing, but like just sharing what I've sort of figured out in my thought process just helps people. And it helps me to share it and it helps me to write it all down. So that's just what I'm doing. And I'm still trying to sleep consistently, so I'm filming that too, because people will find that relatable in the future when I am sleeping consistently. They can say, "Look at my videos when I wasn't sleeping," and they can see it, and it will help them. Like, once they've already made the decision that they're going to fix this, they can see what it looks like, because self-belief is one of the hardest things in this process, because the disease attacks the mind and the mechanisms of repair, and it is a bitch. It is a real bitch, honestly, of a disease to struggle with. So I'm filming it and I'm devoting. So I'm basically starting with. I've been unable to deal with this consistently without devoting time to it. And I've just been building the supplement company because honestly, like I need to have like something needs to be built off of this. Um, do. 1 second. Okay. So basically, hello, welcome. So basically, I'm just filming this because it's also something I can look back on. It's easier for me to talk than it is for me to write, and I've honestly spent so much time writing about this over the last few years that I've blown my hand out for multiple months. So I figure the best form of documentation is talking while I write notes, and then once I have an outline and I'm sleeping consistently and I've outlined how I'm doing that and how I'm going to maintain that, which is going to be done live, which is pretty interesting. Um, Then the book will sort of write itself, and then I can just put the book out there. And now I've sort of laid some breadcrumbs behind me. It's like, okay, this is so if anyone has the same insomnia problem and finds my work, they'll be able to find supplements that don't have nonsense in them. They'll be able to find how to like make their own supplements if they want to. They'll be able to find how to use dietary interventions to heal themselves. They'll be able to find out how to like how I did all this stuff, and that'll just be set up there. So I feel like I will have, and then if that takes off, I'm really creating a situation where this is going to take off, because ultimately I may need more resources to fix this at some point, and there are many more people out there, and this is like what I'm good at. So I'm just kind of betting on it's like Ford. I feel like Ford betting on the internal gasoline combustion engine. And that's the God engine. I'm betting on this understanding of health I have. And there's other things that I could do. There's other things that I could do in addition to that and would do, but ultimately I just feel like I was sort of like picked out for this because it's sort of like, I don't know, like if you get mugged, you could either be like, I guess I'm a victim, or I guess I need to learn martial arts. If you get insomnia, you can be like, I guess I'm a victim, or I guess I'm going to become the world's greatest expert on sleep, health, fitness, and high performance and help other people. And it's just a better story to me. So, but I feel like like life is made of stories. So it's not like it being a better story is somehow a transitory. I think ultimately once I saturate my system with salt, I will, or no, with green tea, I'll be able to consume a lot more sodium. I think that not being properly saturated with green tea polyphenols and catechins is a very bum 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 I think it's very helpful because I think that every time I take salt or magnesium or any of these things are moving out of my tissues at a greater rate and into my bloodstream, and having my tissues and bloodstream pre-saturated with these green tea polyphenols and catechins will increase the amount of salt that I can take. Like basically the last 2 years, I think it really consisted of me getting into real big ruts, drinking tons of tea and doing vitamin detoxes and stuff to the best of my ability, and saunaing and steam rooming, and then kind of stopping doing that because I'm like, well, I'm sleeping now. I guess it's cured. And then the sleep problems come back, and then I do it again, then they come back again. And I just kind of like, and I'm getting better and better, and my brain works better and better every single day, but it ultimately is like, this is just why I'm doing this. I'm like, I need to write this damn book because I feel like not writing the book like is my decision to not actually finish the problem, because I could just put it all into like an articulated thing and then do the thing, and if the thing doesn't work then I change the thing, and that's literally what I'm doing right now. So at the end of this I'll just have a thing and I'll be like, this is how I consistently got my sleep back and what I plan on doing based off of the understanding that the process of making this gave me. And then I can just continue documenting how that works for me while I work on other books that are more detailed. And maybe the books become bestsellers and then people go and read the books and stuff. And I'm doing promotions on, like I'm promoting it on Instagram by making daily reels on Instagram to just test the algorithm, because I honestly think just making basically different versions of the same reel on Instagram every day for a year will get me enough followers if I construct my account the right way that I'll just be able to like sell tons of copies of the book, become a New York Times bestseller, and go on and so forth. Because I feel like this is ultimately all part of an even larger experiment with social media itself and the process of learning how people consume information through all forms of media. Like books are a form of media that we're still coming to terms with as a species, because now we can make books through the printing press, and I think that we're still coming to terms with that. And that representative forms of government are really a byproduct of the printing press. And now I'm wondering what forms of government are going to be byproducts of the video live stream and YouTube. So that's why I'm on YouTube, because I'm like, okay, YouTube to me seems like one step up from a book, because you get audiobooks on YouTube. So if you really just look at how the media presents itself, you have like books as long, like really long term, like books last a long time. Books last longer than civilizations. And then you have like YouTube, and YouTube optimizes itself over a long period of time too. Like YouTube, you have like old movies, old books, audiobooks, people talking about books, audiobooks, movies, podcasts. YouTube is really like the heartbeat of the culture in a very real sense. And then you have Instagram and these other things, which I feel like emerge out of YouTube. Like I feel like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and these things kind of sit on top of the trends that YouTube creates and books create, and they comment on them, which is why I'm writing a book and I'm on YouTube, because I feel like the information that people metabolize through books and YouTube, it's long-term information. Like I talked about this in earlier videos. I talk about how I'm biasing my content towards those with long attention spans, because people with long attention spans determine the culture, and people with long attention spans spend their time on YouTube. At least people who are high in trade openness with long attention spans, who are also high IQ, spend their time on YouTube and reading books and watching YouTube videos about books. And then a lot of those people figure out business ideas that motivate them to go to Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, where you gain success not by the merit of your ideas, but by repetitive posting, which I've already figured out how to do. I just don't really do, because like haven't had the energy for it recently, or the motive to, because I don't want to build a business or build a life based on repetitive posting. I'd rather build a life based on living out and explaining the principles that I believe govern not just my life, but life itself. Like that is better. That's just better. And like I don't feel apologetic about saying it. It's just better. And like people are going to become less apologetic about picking better ideas as ideas become more readily consumed through these devices that I'm now speaking to you through. So that's really the levels at which this operates. So I'm just consistently doing this. And I basically see myself as building a wave that is going to crest and peak at some point, because I've done this before with YouTube. I just threw up a YouTube video, and then years later it got thousands and tens of thousands of views. And I was like, oh, or over 10,000 views. And I was like, oh, this takes time. Like, and then I'm like, okay, so all of my videos have this same potential. So I'm just going to make as many videos as I can. So by the time that my videos start seeing their potential, I have so much content made that it just creates this cascade effect. And then like everyone just ends up like watching all my stuff. It's like, as you're coming onto the live stream, I've even thought about how the way I'm creating this information is going to cause people to consume it. And I'm just going to share that as it comes to the stream of consciousness, because that's really the whole point of this, is just for me to like film whatever comes out, so I can kind of remind myself who I am and what my life is. Because my dad looked me in the eyes a few days ago, and he was like, I don't see the same Devin that like wrestled in high school. Like, where is he? He was like sad. He's like, where's my son? And it's like, he's fucking beating the shit out of the insomnia demon in his mind, and he needs to kind of like wake up. And this is how I'm waking up, because all my thoughts are insomnia demon, and I need to make my thoughts less insomnia and more like normal, but I can't. So I'm just doing this live stream. And if I do this long enough, I'll have a book and some memories of how I talked a lot about this stuff. So it'll consume me less. And then I'll just, I don't know, take out the rest of it on people at jiu-jitsu by strangling them. So that's kind of like, and then I'll beat Devin, you know, like that's the whole thing. So ultimately, but I've realized though that by doing this way, I'm also creating a cascade effect. This is the result of 24,000 hours of research and so much thought. I've been planning this for over 10 years. Like this is really like this is like my vengeance on insomnia itself for the suffering that I was unjustly dealt as a young boy. So I'm just like I'm gonna like I want there to be statues of me with my foot on the neck of something that everyone recognizes as the insomnia demon. Like that would just get me off so hard. I would just be like I would just cry with happiness and I would be like fuck you insomnia demon, I won, and I would feel like I had like done little boy Devin right. Like I would have kept his spirit alive and like done what he deemed just by like you know what I mean? Because like I've always seen myself as like the knight in shining armor. Like I used to run around in a knight outfit as a little kid. And I've always just seen myself that way. So if I get attacked by a monster, let me at least be known for slaying it. And I think that's a very nice narrative for me to tell myself. And I believe it to be true as well. I think that that's also a nice thing as well. So even if I only help the people that I have helped thus far and I document all of this and then I go on to like I don't know, build a car empire, I'm still going to funnel it into all this research. And in 100 years, when everyone recognizes how brilliant my solutions are, I'm going to be there with my grandchildren waiting to like take over the entire effing market to like make all the money to put those statues of me with my foot on the neck of the insomnia demon in the middle of Boston. Like, I just can't, like, I need to, I'm drinking tea out of the Odyssey mug. Like, this is how the story's gotta go. It's gotta go this way. Because if it goes this way, then it's like all worth it. It's literally all worth it if it goes this way. And my dad doesn't die of cancer. It's like, fuck you, metabolic dysfunction demon. I fucking win. You fucked with the wrong man. I win. Like that is just, and I feel like that did happen after I published the Insomnia course. And that's why I need to like put that on every single platform ever so it never gets deleted, so it's just there forever. Like now that it's even on YouTube, like it needs to be downloaded and put on everything, so because it's like the second I finished the insomnia course I was like fuck you demon, I win. Like now at least like even if you kill me people will know, they'll know and my victory will come from like it'll be a come from behind victory. Like I don't care, like even if you kill me it will destroy you. Like that is, oh, that is like the ultimate fantasy, just to just destroy insomnia and know that I did it and know that insomnia fucked with the wrong man. Like that is because I have felt so powerless and so helpless, and that thought has got me through. Like to bring that to fruition. Oh my God, I will wait 40 years. And that's another reason why I have so much belief in this. That's why I'm filming this, because I'm like, well, why the fuck should people read my book? It's like, I don't know. It's gonna be fucking awesome because it's gonna kill the insomnia demon. Duh. Like I don't even, like I have to express this for me. And like so my kids can watch this and they'd be like, that's why daddy was so crazy when we were growing up. Like, like just people gotta know. Like there's gotta be something out there where people, I'm not just the weird guy who drank all the tea and yelled about eating beef. There was a reason behind it, god damn it. And that reason was victory. Like like it is, this is a very emotional topic for me, and I gotta urinate and keep drinking tea, but like, oh, hmm. This is good. This is very good. And like at the end of the day, um at the end of the day, I just like want to believe in the human race. And I feel like that's sort of like why Jesus came to earth and died, cuz he's like it's like even if it looks like you fail, if you don't give up, you succeed. And on that note, I'm going to take a bathroom break. get you one eventually then. People, I gotta work now. I'll be back soon. So I feel like this is just very psychologically relieving for me because I get to turn, because I kind of just walk around, or I have been for a while, like trying not to give in to the all-consuming thoughts that I have about the insomnia that I've experienced for most of my life. So pretty much all my life, I guess, but it's gotten really bad for most of it. So just having a point in my day where it's like the point of the day is just to experience all of those thoughts, document them, document all of the scientific thoughts that branch out from those, write down anything useful, turn it into a book, and answer anyone's questions on the topic. While I actually do have an audience of people who find all of this incredibly useful, who ask me questions, who engage with me, who are part of Lion Diet Uncensored, who are like I have people now who are helped by this. So it's like when I just rant about how I'm not sleeping and what I'm doing about it, they're actually helped by that. Like people will be like, "Oh my god, thanks for the tip on green tea. Like green tea is like the stuff of life. I can now like function." And it's like, welcome. That's what I'm here for. And like just having that and having this space that I've created, I've realized that like I'm really just holding space for myself, but also for other people who want to fix their health issues. And a lot of it's just having the space to do so. Like, and you have to create that space. And that's just the way it is. Like, I didn't get this space as a result of like anything other than creating it, but I had to communicate with people, and it's still their loving and tender mercy that allows me to have this space. But it's like I still had to create it to benefit from their loving and tender mercy, because like even if someone loves you, they might not understand you. And if they don't understand you and you don't understand you and you can't communicate any of that, then it's going to be really hard even if the love and resources are there. So that's sort of like that's what this process is. And I've got to chug this tea because it's like it's waking my brain up, but it's like it's just work. Like I'm like, oh, I gotta fucking drink all this fucking tea. That's why I'm filming myself doing it, because I won't do it otherwise. Because I feel sleepy now, so I'll probably sleep tonight. But then it'll create an inconsistent sleep pattern, and I'll be dealing with it for another year. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to film myself doing the thing that I think is going to help me sleep the most and talking about why it is I'm doing it. And I'm going to do this every single day until I'm sleeping consistently, because I'm already doing it every day in my head, just evidently not super effectively, because it's been going on for 2 years. So like, and that's just 2 years of like a major insomnia episode, not even like, which is the longest an episode's gone on, but also the least intense. Like this is the first time I've had an insomnia episode without it degenerating into a month of no sleep. But also I've done everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen, but it's also still going on. So I'm like, okay, I just have to like actually figure this out, because this isn't going to be fixed easy, and it's not going to be fixed quick. And what I've done so far hasn't been sufficient. It's been necessary and it's been helpful, but it hasn't been sufficient. So now I'm just going to continue doing that every day and talking about it and drinking the tea, like making sure I actually drink the tea, and the tea stimulates my brain, stimulates more thoughts. So and then I write the thoughts down, and I share the thoughts, and I have the space for the thoughts, and I hit the live resin dab pen, and I long for the day when I'll never smoke weed again. And I just like continue on. And at the end of it, I'll have a book, and I'll have people who will want to read the book, and then I'll also have shared how I created the space to create the space, because it's also like most of it's myself. Like I can't let myself create this space unless I feel like there's glory, because if I'm just gonna be a weak, like this is how I think, if I'm just gonna be a weak piece of shit curled up in bed for a year, like it doesn't inspire me. And it's like maybe that's definitely a harsh way to think, but it's like I won't go to that unless I absolutely have to. And I feel like I've come close to that, like come close to having to actually just lay in bed for a year and become like a bedridden invalid. But like I've not done that, and I way better and it doesn't look like I have to. But it's also like I'm still lagging and I'm just way underperforming, performing at like 10% of my capacity, if that. Like compounded over time, it's 10% compounded. So it's like I'm performing millions of times under my ability. And that's why, but in terms of regaining my sleep, I'm actually performing very, very well. So I'm like, I'm just going to film what I'm going through and how I'm going through it and direct people to other parts of my channel where they can see me when I'm not sleeping at all so that you guys and the world can see, like, because again, I'm performing so far under my potential because of the insomnia. I'm like, but I mean, it hasn't killed me and I've recovered 3 times. So I'm going to show everyone what I learned to do that so that there's this like, oh shit, like this is why I should care about this guy's advice and his health opinions and his research. And so then I can actually capitalize on the skill that I've spent my entire life gaining, which does benefit other people, but is just going to require a lot of communication. So that's where I'm just like, okay, every day on the social media, just communicating. I do have a grand overarching plan on how to communicate this, but right now I'm 26, so I'm still in like the data collecting phase. So I'm like, what happens if I just live stream this process every day? Because making videos every day seems to get attention. And then the attention people are helped by that. And I'm like, how do I just like this seems like a worthwhile mission. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pursue this mission as hard as I can and see what comes of it because it's also tied up. It makes me healthier to do so because it allows me to essentially do what I've done my whole life, which is optimize my own health and the health of those who I interact with. Because another thing I started doing when I was 16 was giving people health advice. Like I just started giving people health advice and asking them how it worked out just so I could kind of like, because I knew so much and I'd already had most of the problems people have. Like, oh, you've got erectile dysfunction. Well, I'm 17. I've had erectile dysfunction for a year and I fixed that. So this is how I did that. Does this work for you? And like I just did all these tests and like they're little tests. That's how I saw them as like, okay, let's see if the solution that worked for me works for someone else. And it just does. So then I'm like, okay, I mean, that's valuable. So now I just keep doing that. And it also like gives me feedback. And I've developed a whole system based on the feedback. And it's not definitely not perfect, but it's really good. I mean, it's helped me so much. It's helped a lot of other people. And it can be built on, and I can build on it. And if it helps people enough that I can turn that into a like a full-time company. Like I see Whistling Diesel with his company, and I'm like, well, that's cool. Like I would like to do what he's doing and documenting that, but do that for health, fitness, and high performance solutions centered around sleep and metabolism, autoimmunity, and people who are on very strict elimination diets trying to deal with esoteric symptoms. I'm like, that sounds great. There's people out there. And then if it works for the sickest people, then it really works for people who are healthy. And that's something someone actually told me this when this is what I'm doing, filming this. So there's all this stuff comes out when I was at jiu-jitsu. Sometimes some guy told me this. He was like, the one thing I've learned in health is that you should invest your money into being healthier because any like $1 you spend when you're healthy to get healthier is worth like $1,000 that you would spend to get healthier once you're sick. It's like making healthy people healthier is the best use of money because sick people require so much money to make so little progress, and healthier people require very little to make more progress. So it's like if you give someone who's otherwise healthy a gym membership and he starts eating like a bit better, spending a few $100 a month on his food, then he's going to be way healthier than the dude who spends $10,000 a month, $1 million a month on like crazy medical treatments, but has stage 4 cancer and multiple organs. So it's like you can spend millions of dollars when you have stage 4 cancer, or you can spend like $1,000 a month when you don't have stage 4 cancer. And like that's equivalent. Like a $10 million when you have stage 4 cancer is equivalent to $1,000 when you don't have stage 4 cancer. But the $1,000 is actually even more effective because the survival rate for someone who's already healthy is way higher than the survival rate for someone with cancer. So it's like I'm just drinking my tea. Like I gotta force myself to drink this tea because otherwise I just won't do it because I feel good because I've slept for the last 2 days. So now I'm like, now I gotta go do other work stuff. But it's like if I make myself sit with this and do the thing I know I need to do, then I'll make more, faster, better progress for longer and know how I did it and be able to share that with others. Hola. Hello, Fishing Planet. So that's what I'm doing again, is like, it's also just mentally therapeutic because I feel like I'm all mentally fucked up too because I literally don't even remember a lot of the last 2 years or various parts of my life because I've had such bad sleep problems that it's affected my memory. I have like amnesia, and it's like it takes me like way longer to remember certain things than it should, and it's just like I don't even like I have to like update my brain on like things that I know happened, but like I didn't actually realize they happened because knowing and realizing are different functions, and like it just, and then it gets lost. Like people tell me things when I'm not sleeping and it kind of hits me in the moment, but then it just doesn't get updated into my long-term memory because I didn't sleep for like the subsequent week. So then it's like, oh yeah, I do know that. But I'm just constantly experiencing that, and it's like really, really irritating because it also causes me anxiety, which I feel like is also making it like the anxiety is not making it harder to sleep because if it was anxiety, I would just get tired and fall asleep eventually, and just laying down would like make it go away or whatever. But like it's like I'm just lagging in this half dead mode of being where I'm not updated with myself, and I'm just like glad I'm alive, but I don't even really know how. So I'm just devoting this time to sitting down and like figuring out how I'm even alive, or like what it all means and like what I can do about it, and like what I should do with my day. Like I need to like get like my Vyvanse prescription refilled, but I haven't even like done that because it hasn't occurred to me that that's like something that needs to do in a way that promotes action, because I'm just like mentally, I'm just looping on other things that have to do with insomnia because there's no real point where all the threads come together. I'm just kind of dealing with this ongoing issue, and I have for so long that I can't even piece out the issue from my own personality. Though I know there's a difference, it just takes like, because personality becomes tendency, and my tendencies are all wrapped up in this issue. And I'm just like, I don't like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like here, and I'm trying to figure this all out, and I'm documenting it because this is probably relatable to some people with insomnia. So, and I can also go back to it and reminisce, I guess, or like if I want notes, like let's say, because I'll forget. Like I know so much that like even though I know so much, I still am in the situation of every person who knows a lot, which is like I've probably forgotten more than I know. So this at least reminds me of everything that I know when I'm fixing the problem, so that if I have the problem again, I could just go back to the last time I solved the problem, which has been hard because I've been really preoccupied the other times I've been solving the problem. But it's also taking me less time to solve the problem the other times. So it's like created this illusion that I don't need to. But I don't even know why that all is. Like, I'm just kind of trying to figure out how to sleep now and like what it all means. And it's just like a whole thing. And I got to talk about it. And I also want to like sleep more. And if I stop focusing on how to sleep, I stop sleeping. And if I can't sleep, my brain doesn't work. And if my brain doesn't work, I can't figure out why I'm not sleeping because I need my brain for that. So now that I can kind of sleep, I'm just going to do this. So then if I can't sleep again, I can just go back to what I was doing when I did this. And then I can just review it. And then I can just do the updated version of that based off of how the first thing worked out. And then it also, if it helps people, that's cool. And then if it promotes the book, that's cool. And then if the book helps people, that's cool. And then if the book leads to conversations with other educated people who can help me further, then I can share that through YouTube and other books, and that'll be cool. And then maybe I can create a society where people don't have these issues, because like this sucks. I mean, first I have to create a Devon where I don't have these issues, and then after I can create a family where we don't have these issues, and I can create like a community and a company where I don't have these issues, and then I can create a society where we don't have these issues. But it's just like these are very pressing issues, and it seems that like people keep on misunderstanding them or dying from them too fast to understand them. So I'm just like doing this to try to understand it, because everything I've said is not really all put together anywhere. Like, I'm the only one who's talking about all these different things at the same time, so it creates the illusion, don't know how much of an illusion it is, that I'm the only one who knows what's going on here, which is disturbing to me, because it seems like this is a very big issue, and we're consuming a lot of chemicals that are going to make this issue a lot worse for me and a lot of other people. And maybe we should stop doing that before we create a situation where everyone has these sorts of issues all at once and no one can think clearly enough to fix them, and we all die. Because that's just how it feels from my brain. So, call doctor and request refill. Call doctor and set up new doctor. Journal about all the stuff I gotta do and make a plan I can look at. That sounds like a good use of my time. And then also go for a walk, meditate, neck training. I did the neck training. I did that before I did my hair. I'm just going to always do that, because I like doing my hair, but I can't do neck training with my hair like this. So I did the neck training first, so I can cross off neck training, because neck training is a very important part of athletic training. Push-ups 1. I'll just say I did push-ups 1. Push-ups 2. That's like push-ups 1 is just going through all the basic movements I do once a day. Push-ups 2 would be like a more focused athletic thing. I guess I already went for a walk, but it was a short walk. So I guess walk 1x, go for a walk 2. Got to give myself credit. You got to cross off the thing, otherwise you don't get credit for doing it. And then where's the dopamine? Then what else? Oh, make new hair gel. Call brother. Call mom. Call dad. Call your parents. They probably love you. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to end up like capping supplements on these live streams too, so you can just see me capping supplements, because that's something I do a lot. Oh, I got to like download videos to long-term storage devices. Oh, read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I might do that on live streams too, because I feel like that's kind of like how my body works. Like Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, baby, with a martial arts twist. So, what else? What else? I guess I gotta like make and eat food. Live stream. Drink tea. Read to kids and put them to bed. Get background check to coach wrestling at Pentucket. Plan this cycle and Luna. just kind of create my own words for things because I feel like weak. I just don't like weak. It's like, oh, it's time for my week. It's like, why are you feeling weak? It's just a cycle. It's just another cycle of the same pattern. So, I guess we are kind of like weak as human beings. We have to deal with that, which is why the company is weak to warrior. But like, whatever. What else do I have to do today that I haven't done? Make vitamin D3 tomorrow. I guess that's kind of pretty much most of the stuff I got to do today. So, but there's just like other things I have to do, and it's just like the anxiety about not sleeping kind of like wraps up into everything else. So I spend so much of my day thinking about like how am I going to sleep that I can't like do other stuff. Then you just fall further and further behind, and then it becomes like less relatable to people because then they're like, I haven't really been sleeping. And they're like, yeah, but you're always not sleeping, and it's just like then it's like, well, I can either have a mental breakdown right now, or I can just ignore the feeling. So I just created 1,300 YouTube videos describing it so that I can direct people there if they have questions. Because yeah, it's a little intense, but whatever. I don't know. Like, what are you gonna do about things? Like, you gotta like make your own kind of music, sing your own kind of song. It's all it's like Odysseus. Like, you just gotta be like, yeah, I'm on my personal odyssey, and gotta keep going. Slept last night. Feel like I am approaching catechin and polyphenol saturation. Drank half a third steeper last night and the rest this morning. Maybe a steady detox for 12 months or more is simply the ticket. I'm worried some rich guy is going to see this and be like, he's created a very ingenious way to sell green tea, which I currently don't even sell, by the way. And then they assassinate me because they feel threatened. Not sleeping causes paranoia, but only the paranoid survive, so maybe I'm super survivable. Though insomnia does not seem to increase one's chances of living. Maybe there's a degree of insomnia that does, because it makes you more paranoid. Like, you want to have like very mild insomnia, and that's like the longest life expectancy because it just makes you a bit more paranoid. So then stuff just doesn't kill you because you're paranoid and you're like already thinking it's gonna. So it's taking me like an hour to finish one thing of tea. Like, this is just crazy. Like, this is like crazy how long it's taking me to finish this tea, but it's also crazy how relaxed it's making my brain. So I gotta pee again, but I don't really want to like get up to go pee again immediately. I guess that's just weird hesitation. I guess. less hesitation. More is lost to hesitation than to wrong action. Whoever hesitates is lost. When I'm drinking, dump the second pot of tea. I try to drink as fast as I can. After I finish this next pot of tea, I'm going to do some meditation. I do have to, like... I think there's like a frequency to texting. There's a way to do texting where there's a way to do testing where or texting where you get like a nice free like rhythm going. I'm gonna try to develop that more now that my brain's working because I haven't really been able to like text people or like maintain relationships very well. I mean, I've done a good job, but it's just like whatever. But I mean, you see me relaxing as I drink more and more of the tea. Like I just could keep drinking this stuff. I wonder what's gonna happen. Like as I keep drinking it, because this stuff is definitely building up in my tissues faster than it's dissipating. I'm gonna hit a point where I wonder if I'll actually be able to just stop taking any stimulants, like even caffeine pills. Like if just everything, if I can just keep my body saturated with green tea for like 12 months, if it'll just completely nuke any sort of Adderall withdrawal or Vyvanse withdrawal or anything. The nausea threshold on green tea increases the more I consume it. to me, I think that's evidence that it is a detoxifying agent, is that my body builds tolerance to it, or builds tolerance to the nauseous effect. And it has nothing to do with my consumption of other stimulants. Other stimulants have nothing to do with this effect, because if I consume even higher, like, let's say I made this tea with 1 scoop and I just let it sit there as long as I need to, as long until I drink it all, I just let it sit. So it turns this amber color around minute 10, 11, 15, and then it gets darker until it will turn like very dark even after if I let it sit out all night. And that tea is categorically different than tea made where I use the same tea, 3 scoops, not 1, and I steep it for only 2 minutes to get maximum stimulant extraction, but not maximum tannin, catechin, polyphenol extraction. And that is why I favor that's why I favor tea this way, because if I consume, like, there's the nausea I get from consuming too many stimulants, where it's like I feel nauseous and kind of crappy and I have this headache. The nausea I get from consuming too much tea is completely different. It has nothing to do with how much stimulants I've consumed. I could have consumed 600 milligrams of caffeine or no caffeine. I could have consumed 60 milligrams of Adderall or no Adderall. If I consume if I out of the blue start consuming 3 pots of tea that looks that amber color, and I just do that, nausea comes on. If I haven't been doing that, if I've been doing that like I've been doing it on these live streams, then I don't get that like as much. Like, I get this kind of like elated feeling that I'm expressing right now, where I feel very relaxed and tired, but I feel very elated. Like, I have like a lot of bodily energy, but I feel like I could go to sleep. And that's how you should feel. You should feel like you could sleep and you got energy in your body. You shouldn't feel like you have no energy and you couldn't sleep no matter what. That's a weird feeling, like I look into that feeling and I'm like, this seems to be like some iron thing, because again, autoimmunity, even like autoimmune flare-ups cause iron redistribution, which causes more issues than your body, like, slowly over time refines homeostasis until it can't anymore. You develop cancer and slowly finds homeostasis again, and then finding that homeostasis, it's then disrupted again, because then the system is stressed in some way, and just kind of going through that loop again and again. It's like iron, heavy metals, plastics, because I was also consuming canned beverages. Don't consume canned beverages. I was consuming canned beverages at the time, and canned beverages it's not surrounded by metal, it's surrounded by plastic. The metal is encompassing a plastic bag. It's literally sitting like a plastic shopping bag. It's like that's what your liquid's in. And you're just drinking plastic, and your body has to detox the plastic, and it can choose to detox the plastic or detox the iron. And then it builds up a little more iron, builds up a little more iron, builds up a little more iron. And then now you start trying to detox that into your gut, but your gut can't detox. So now it's all built up in your gut. And then you start getting bad bacteria in your gut because of the presence of so many heavy metals, because your body can't get them out of your gut fast enough. They create an environment for heavy metals. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are actually talking about when they talk about parasites. Parasites grow in environments that are rich in iron, heavy metals, and toxins. And they create environments that are rich in heavy metals and toxins. And bad bacteria are the first parasites that move in, and they live in a crud lining that lines your intestine that is like an inflammatory hellhole. And I spent I pooped it out, and I talked about that on my channel, and it's like I documented that. And there weren't any parasites that I could see, but I pooped out a lot of crud that was definitely full of bad bacteria, which are parasites. And I had candida, and candida is supposed to be associated with parasites, but I think I had the candida because I had tons of bad bacteria, because I was also eating tons of protein, because I need to eat protein to stimulate my metabolism, because my metabolism was sluggish from all the bad bacteria. But then when you're consuming too much protein, when your body is full of iron like this, then it can't, you run into nitrogen balance issues where because you can't maintain positive nitrogen balance, you have too much nitrogen in the cell and too little outside the cell in your body. Now it doesn't even like now protein's just accumulating like crazy because you can't even use it because there's too much protein built up. That's why you need to go through periods of fasting, but you can't fast because your gut's full of bad bacteria. And like that state is no bueno. I don't even know how I got there. Oh, it's fun. So I'm just gonna keep drinking the tea. I need to like finish the tea, and then I'm gonna do a little meditation and do the other things I got to do today before 5 o'clock when everything closes. But if I sleep tonight from the tea, and then I mean, like if I could just get myself to sleep every night for a month from just the tea like this, that would really solidify that I don't need the NMDA effects of the practice. The tea will work because if the tea didn't work, then the tea wouldn't work. And it's like the tea works. It's just that I get lazy with the tea because I have to sit here and make myself drink it. And it's a pain in the butt. Like I don't want it. Like I'm now feeling like every time I take a gulp of tea, I get like a little wave of nausea that's followed by like euphoria. And then I just feel like even more relaxed and sleepy. And then I start ranting even more. Like my brain turns on more and more and more, and like I have more energy in my body. And I just like I'm like, oh, like this is actually like hard to make myself drink this much green tea. So I have to set aside time to do it because it's just like because I actually have to space it out too because if I just chug it all at once, I'll just puke. Like I'll literally just puke. So I just have to like. I mean, this is something I found. Paracetam might be able to work. Other things might be able to work slower. I think the iron issue, honestly, I think my cells are so messed up that I think I just need the tea. I think the tea is the only thing that's going to do it. Like, I did that research because, like, not sleeping causes your body to not be able to get rid of iron. So I'm like, I have definitely been building up this toxic body problem for a very long time. This has been a very, because I have not been sleeping well my entire life, and I'm 26 years old, and I've been experiencing these insomnia problems and this like the really acute dying stuff for the last 10 years. So this is not I don't know like I the research I've done really indicates like I think that my body was just getting by on metabolism and storing this stuff in my bones. And I think my bones probably started reaching a saturation point of heavy metals. Yeah, like I literally think that like I think my body was like had it up to here with heavy metals and iron and inability to detox these things and plastic and I don't really know. I probably shouldn't be smoking weed at all either. And I'm gonna again, like I said, I should just gonna stop as soon as I literally can without affecting my sleep. Fucking A. I'm glad I never started anything harder than that for sleep. I did gabapentin actually because I like came across some gabapentin that someone gave me because they like didn't want to become addicted to it. So they're like, "Oh, you just hang on to it." And I used some of the gabapentin years back. I just threw it out because I was like, "This fucking nah." Made me stupid in the morning. That's really like made me stupid in the morning. I was like, "This is." Oh my god! Like I'm just so glad that I dodged the hardcore addiction bullet, and I'm just like weed is like all it is. But I definitely feel like my body has had it with the heavy metals and the iron and the metabolic issues. Like I feel like I just need a detox. Like I probably need to drink green tea for like 10 years like this. But it'll get easier though, because at some point I'll saturate my body with it so much it'll become like water. And then the other thing is that in this state, my body's so saturated with green tea chemicals that when I drink the fermented tea, it literally just like hits me like crazy because the bacteria is which is trained to eat green tea particles. It just goes nuts in my body because I'm so saturated with green tea particles that I just pass out. And probably how it initially happened, because like drinking green tea was like the only way like this is the only way I could sleep like last summer. Like I was just chugging tea till I puked and then doing it again and then taking salt and stuff to continue doing that, and like it worked. Like it really works, and I have solid poops now, which is like a first for like a long time. So it is just, but my head feels very interesting from this quantity of green tea. Like I feel like my brain is like entering into a joyous state of metabolism. My brother keeps calling me. I'll just tell him. Do 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 do. So basically, I don't know. Like I feel like like I'm becoming more fluent and more relaxed as I become sleepier, and it's like, what's going on here? It's just very interesting. I mean, I gotta pee again. I mean, I think that's also good. It's like the stuff's moving out of my body into my bladder, and I gotta like. Whew. I did finish the green tea yesterday. I couldn't finish all of it on the video because I just hit the nausea point. I can take 300 milligrams of caffeine, and then another 300 milligrams, nothing happens. But the tea makes me nauseous. Only when I make it like this, though. Detox. So this is fascinating. This is wait, where's the what happened to the live stream? It's frozen. Huh. Why is the live stream frozen? Maybe my screen is just frozen. And the timer's still going though, so we'll see. There we go. I just opened it back up again. So I actually wonder, what would happen if I took chlorella after reaching the saturation point of polyphenols, tannins, and catechins in my blood, indicating max detox before puking. That's a really interesting point. Because what I'm doing now is I'm creating a situation where there's as many of these molecules detoxing from my bloodstream into my digestive system and bladder as can possibly be doing that without inducing excess detox and nausea, because it's just the presence of them in the bloodstream does cause nausea and like autoimmunity and other things. So because there just is a lot in the bloodstream, your body could react to that and does sometimes react to that, which could cause more to be released. So if I gave them potentially, I did have a bowel movement this morning. If I gave them somewhere to go in terms of chlorella in my gut, then I think that would potentially knock me out at this point, because I'm pretty saturated with these chemicals. Like I feel like every sip I take is like green tea feels like drugs if you take enough. Like if you drink enough of this green tea, like you feel like you're like on something because you're like on green tea. And it's a nice feeling. It's like, but it gets intense because I'm optimizing for detox. If at this point I were just to drink caffeinated, just tea that was optimized for caffeine extraction, I would feel very, very euphoric. But that's not what I'm optimizing for. If I were to take B vitamins right now, I might puke because those. But if I took B vitamins after taking chlorella, like take chlorella, wait 30 minutes, take B vitamins, I almost certainly wouldn't puke. Because one of the mechanisms that makes puking is detox. I'm like convinced of that because I've tested the not puking hypothesis a lot with like different amounts of zinc. Because zinc is something, if you take too much zinc, you just puke pretty immediately. So I've like tested how much zinc I can take, because zinc also like helps me sleep sometimes. So I've tested how much zinc I can take with and without chlorella and with and without green tea. And I mean, reading Andy Cutler's work and then testing that out for myself, I'm like, this is detox going on, because that's exactly what I see is exactly what I would expect if detox were going on, which it is. So right now, if the process that's making my brain sleepy and relaxed and me feel like I'll be able to sleep tonight is detox, then anything that enhances detox should also enhance that feeling. And I've tested that hypothesis too. This is why I'm doing this all in live streams, because I've just like this is the only way I can actually like explain what the fuck I'm trying to explain, even a little bit. It's just I don't even know if I'm explaining it, but it's just kind of like I don't even I'm just creating space for myself to do this thing, which I've been doing privately for a long time, and I'm now doing very publicly because I think it's interesting, and I think that that space is nice, and it's like, well, this helps other people, and I create space for it myself, which helps me, and I document that, and it's just good. Like I don't know, it's like documenting goodness in a way that helps people, which is like the coolest thing I've done with this, which just comes from noticing that it helps people. So it's like basically though, holy cow. I gotta pee again. So I'm gonna bring down chlorella. And I'm gonna see what happens after. I'm gonna keep drinking that till I get nauseous, and then when I get nauseous, I'm gonna take chlorella, like really nauseous. I'm gonna take chlorella, and we'll see if I start to pass out, because I may just pass out because it may just trigger like everything that's in my bloodstream right now that can't move fast enough into my bladder because I keep needing to pee could immediately move into the chlorella in my gut, causing me to relax even further, causing me to just immediately pass out, which I will also record live. This is interesting. This is better than I hoped this would go. Oh, so this is the chlorella. I'm gonna take some of that when I'm close to the saturation point of when I'm gonna start feeling nauseous. I think if I took chlorella, then I might pass out, and then I'll have to like meditate and do all the other stuff later. I mean, I guess I could like I don't know. I mean, this takes precedent over everything else, because if I figure this out, it makes everything else in my life so much easier. So that's why I'm documenting it, because it's also interesting that my life has gotten to the point where something this esoteric takes such priority and precedent. It's just it's interesting, and like I don't know, maybe people with cancer will watch this and be like, okay, like this is what like healing at a high level looks like. It looks like this sort of self-reflection, this sort of action, this sort of space being held for finding a solution. Oh, I'm just gonna see. I'm actually gonna see if this helps me be less nauseous, because I'm kind of approaching this like it's just an interesting threshold. Like, and like my brain feels so saturated with green tea. Like, I want to get to the point right where I feel like the detox is like unmanageable, and then chlorella. Like, I want to see what the chlorella does to that, and then if it enables me to finish the pot of green tea. Like, if I pass out, if I get incredibly sleepy, what happens. Because I mean, if I just pass out, it's gonna kind of stink. Because like I won't be able, like I'll have to like go upstairs and tell my wife and be like, "Hey, yeah, hey, honey, I had a breakthrough and I have to go pass out for a few hours." But hey, having a breakthrough, that's nice. So you gotta like take some, you gotta leave some, and it's just like is what it is. And it's just like the green tea I'm just gonna keep like I got to this point before I just puked. Oh. Oh, what I should do right now is hmm, I'm writing a book called Hello everyone. I'm writing a book called The God Engine about human metabolism, specifically how I used insights into metabolism to fix a very persistent and horrible form of insomnia that is related to Morgan syndrome, fatal insomnia. Hello everyone. I'm writing a book called Hello everyone. I'm writing a book called The God Engine. Hello, everyone. I'm writing a book called The God Engine, and I'm actually live streaming the process of me writing the book. It's a book on metabolism. It's a really good book on metabolism. And while I'm live streaming this, I'm making myself drink 2 entire things of green tea. Hello, everyone. I'm writing a book called The God Engine, and I'm actually live streaming the process of me writing the book. It's a book on metabolism. It's a really good book on metabolism. And while I'm live streaming, I'm just testing to see if posting to um I'm just testing to see if posting to Instagram at 15-second reel that's basically the same reel every day will end up. Hello everyone. I'm right. So now I have 2 reels. I have 2 followers. So I'm just gonna see, and it has got a picture of like what I want the book cover to look like. So so basically, yeah, I want to keep getting more and more and more caffeinated. So now I have to like pee. Like I'm getting to the point of detox where I think my body is just peeing all the time. Like that's a symptom of detox is like your body just peeing all the time. But detox is good, and then there's like your body will switch from detox to storing mode, and it's just crazy stuff to look into. And like I talk about how many hours I've researched this stuff, but I really just want to say, like, I'm just a dude with a problem who's solved his problem a few times and learned something for his trouble, and also helped a few other people and learned something for the trouble. So, my only thought on this topic is that there's a lot of good work that's been done. And there's a lot more good work that could be done, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I want to focus on doing more good work because, as Henry Ford duly noticed, when you make society richer, you become richer. Like, that's really the only way to become rich. It's truly rich is to enrich your society. Because I mean, who wants to be king of the damned? You know, like like it's just like you could be the top dog in Ghana, or you could be like bottom of the barrel in like Monte Carlo. And it's like I've never been to either of those places, but I've heard that some are better than others. So I'm gonna take some chlorella now because now I'm getting nauseous from the green tea. But it's like a relaxed form of nausea because the green tea is pretty gentle detoxifier. It's not like the stuff is redistributing. It's just in the bloodstream because it's being removed, because that's what the green tea does. And also bonds to anything in the bloodstream that is being absorbed, and it bonds to anything in the gut that could be absorbed, and it bonds to anything in your mouth that could be absorbed. It's just a very effective agent, and one that I feel is saving my life. So thank God for green tea, you know? I mean, I think it keeps China alive because they're somehow still alive, and we know toxins are bad for you, and like that country is a toxic hellhole, and they consume nearly all of their produced green tea, and I think there's a reason for it because I think that traditional Chinese medicine is largely just like I don't know. I mean, I just think green tea is like the best thing they produce because that's what's working for me. I feel nauseous. Okay, I feel less nauseous now. Oh, there's a little bit of it. Ugh. Please note I'm very well hydrated. highly trained individual, drinks lots of spring water, and eats quite healthy. So don't try this at home. I'm not recommending you all go do these things. I recommend you watch my insomnia course and ask me educated questions on live streams. Best questions make it into the book. Because, I don't know, it's fun. I like talking to people. I formed a lot of ideas by talking to people. It's very educating talking to people. So, not like my book. It's like, if you ask a good question, I'll make it in the book. Because it's like, it's a good question. So that's what I recommend people do. I don't recommend people necessarily just go do this at home. So, I feel interesting. I feel like the chlorella is doing its thing because of all the green tea I've been consuming. Like, I've already consumed almost 2 pitchers worth because I drank half a pitcher this morning that was left over from last night, and that was another half pitcher I had last night in addition to the two. And I'm just gonna keep going like this, and this will probably replace all of my stimulants. And if this works to keep me sleeping, in addition to carnivore and the chlorella and stuff, then I'll just keep doing this while live streaming it and talking about why I think this works while writing the book. And then at the end of that process, I'll have a book written on why I think this worked. I'll have something that worked, and I'll be sleeping. I'll have slept well, and I will have learned something for my trouble. I will have learned how the Instagram algorithm works more. I will have learned what happens if I live stream something like this every day. That's an interesting question. I'm like, what happens if I live stream something like this? I got the idea after I did a live stream from having all these questions asked to a post I made in the Lion Diet Facebook group. So I did a live stream to answer questions live, and I had so many people show up, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I'm like, I'm just gonna actually, and I was having sleep problems at the time. I still am, but I mean, I slept the last 2 nights, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna document how I continuously fix these things while writing the book because I just have to keep on like the only reason I would work on something else is if I was sleeping consistently, but I haven't been sleeping consistently, but I was able to produce 1 month of consistent sleep while taking paracetam. But then I found out the paracetam had BHT in it, which is why it was so hard to do that with paracetam when it would work so well in the beginning because the BHT would build up and have an inflammatory effect. So then I was like, well, I can't do that then because that's obviously not going to work because that's having other effects and I'd have to that's just I don't want to deal with that. So I can either recrystallize the paracetam or I can try an alternative hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis is that the green tea detox will be sufficient. And so I did on the live stream, I just kind of just drank all the tea because the tea is faster than recrystallizing paracetam. I have to go through a whole bunch of stuff, have to order stuff, buy stuff, things have to come in. It's a whole fucking process. So if the tea works right now, then I'm just gonna do the tea because that's easier and it's also like I'll definitely have access to tea more consistently throughout my life than paracetam. I mean, hopefully, not definitely, but probably. I mean, historically, there's been more access to green tea in gunpowder form than to paracetam, and the price of it is less volatile. So I'm just going to go with the green tea. So I go with the green tea, and it's working. So I'm just going to I'm keeping rolling with it. I'm going to see how I feel. So I have to pee again. My head feels pretty clear. I don't feel nauseous anymore. I'm going to go pee, come back, drink the rest of the tea, and then probably wrap this up and maybe pass out. I don't know. Like, I'll see if I get randomly sleepy. That should happen in the next 10 to 30 minutes, though, if it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen within 30 minutes, it's probably not going to. But still could. We'll see. I don't know. A lot of pee, and I am feeling like sleepy. Like I could probably just pass out and take a nap. Oh, wow. This is interesting. So, so that's why I'm doing this, because I've been thinking about the nature of the internet and the nature of I was gonna read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance at the end, like kind of like do that out loud as like a thing, and like at the end of every live stream, read a little bit of Zen, the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. That's a good book. I don't think actually, yeah, I feel like really sleepy right now. Like I feel like I'm kind of running out of energy for that. Oh, let's see how much green tea I can get down before I like pass out. This is hitting me really. I'm just gonna. Tim Ferriss with 4 Hour Body is a huge inspiration to me. That book is awesome. Don't live your life. I am feeling kind of sleepy. I wonder if I'm gonna fall asleep. If I take zinc in like 30 minutes, that may also trigger sleep. I'll just proceed. We'll just see. Because I mean, I'm feeling sleepy, but that could just be because detox is now. Well, the thing that like I described is now happening. So I'm just gonna keep on drinking tea, because now I don't feel nauseous. So that did do the not making me nauseous thing. The chlorella did work to not make me nauseous, because I'm very hydrated, have taken proper vitamins and minerals, have appropriately spaced my meals and fasted and drank lots of green tea and prepared. Chlorella did not make me nauseous, made me feel very not nauseous. Because really what it does is absorb things that make you nauseous, but because it absorbs it so much, that can trigger redistribution if you have problems with that. So that's where people can have problems with anything that triggers detox. Like the same way I was feeling nauseous from the green tea, but I wasn't feeling nauseous because the green tea was causing redistribution. I was feeling nauseous because there was nowhere for it to go once it bound to the toxins. Now it can go into the chlorella, literally in my gut. Like it was causing me to be nauseous because it was just sitting in my stomach, and my stomach is becoming a cesspool of green tea bound toxins, which, while they won't redistribute or create bad bacteria, because green tea is kind of magic like that, would cause you to puke or have diarrhea, but wouldn't create bad bacteria because the green tea remains bound, which is why I love to use green tea catechins and polyphenols and tannins to remove heavy metals from my body, because they remain bound to the green tea. So then they move into the chlorella, where in my gut, where they remain bound to the chlorella, and then they move out of my gut in my poop, which is like green. Like I poop solid green poop this morning. Gonna poop solid green poop later from the chlorella. I'm just gonna keep doing this and drinking water and taking salt and stuff. And I was gonna see how I feel, because I feel like sleepy right now, but it could either pass or like I'll need to go to sleep. Like I'll start like nodding, because I've just literally, like when I talk about like the story where I hadn't slept for a week, and I just like took a sip of the fermented tea and I passed out. Like I'm talking like you see how I'm getting a little like spacey as I drink more and more and more green tea. I get, and then I just like, because I'm exhausted. My brain and body are exhausted, but they just can't sleep. But they can drink tea, and they can eat meat, and they can talk, and they can walk, and they can breathe, and take supplements, and all those things have effects. And then those things help me sleep. And it just sounds all very like, I don't know, this is just my reality. I'm not going to judge it. I don't know. I don't really want to judge it. I just want to kind of like create. And that's why I'm not focusing on Um, I'm not focused like I'm literally just focusing on solving my problem because it's like if I focus on like, well, how can I make my business help other people? Like I've like realized like it's like Ford, like you gotta just kind of like if you know you're right, you gotta just wait. Like you if you know you're right, you gotta be able to wait. Like that's what gives people staying power. And like Ford, everyone thought he was nuts. Like his dad thought he was nuts, his brother thought he was nuts. People all thought he was crazy. I mean, they kind of like supported him anyway, but they thought he was fucking crazy. They were like, the fucking gas combustion engine, man. Like, you're gonna burn gas to get around. Like, dude, like trains use coal, dickhead. You're using gasoline. No one uses that shit. You're gonna make a gas internal, dude. Like, dude. We use horses. I feed him hay, and he goes. You're fucking around with something that doesn't even exist, using a fuel that no one uses. Go fuck yourself. And he was right. And it took him like 15 years for the thing to like go. But like, I don't think it's gonna take me that. I think all it's gonna take me is like, and I think the technology itself of a book, the technology of YouTube video to distribute information, the technology of Instagram video to distribute information, the necessity for what I've created, the technology of Facebook groups to disseminate information, like all of these things is just going to disseminate the information if I just vent into them in the appropriate way. So I can use literally vent, I can use like an engine the fuel of my own problem to create the byproducts of combustion that fuel the business that provides me with what I need, and then others can buy it too because I'm doing that same thing at scale. So that's really all I've created. I've created the possibility for this to happen. That can happen with the book. The book could just take off, and then no one buys the supplements. I mean, I need the supplements, so I create them for me. I mean, I'm completely happy with what they're doing, so they could just sit there and I could just use them all for all I care. I'm like good with that. But I have the ability to produce supplements. I have the ability to reach people with information. I have the ability to solve my own problem and document that. And then once I'm in that position of solve problem, now I have this system built up around that knowledge, and I can continue growing that while I pursue other more expedient opportunities if that were necessary. Like I can't like I could sell something on Amazon purely to make money or something. I mean, I don't think I would do that. I think I would probably just live on less and kind of optimize my life now while kind of like setting up. I mean, I don't know, there's other things I want to do though. Like there's other and I'm kind of just playing around with it like at this point. Like I'm like, okay, like what happens if I post every day? What happens if I make videos every day? What happens if I make courses and make them available for free? What happens if I write a book and make it available? What happens if I make it available as an ebook? What happens if I read the DMT journal that I wrote in high school aloud as an audiobook on YouTube? What happens if I release all of my systems of health on YouTube? What happens if I do live streams and answer anyone's questions on why I'm doing what I'm doing and use the live stream itself to document what it is that I'm doing to help myself in this predicament? What if I use the live streams to brainstorm and document the brainstorming process and then get the book out while having the supplements available and venting in the Lion Diet group and answering people's questions? Because like I ultimately know that people in the Lion Diet group, like I've done the health coaching enough, like I know that people in the Lion Diet group would probably understand. I mean, I could sell the supplements. I look into other ways of selling the supplements. I mean, I'm very much into the idea of like go out and sell these things. I mean, I think I can. I just kind of like I haven't really slept, so I'm like I'm not operating on all cylinders. So I'm building a plan that works progressively. And this is where I'm just ranting about business content because it's just it all goes together. This is a long plan I planned out in detail while I haven't been sleeping. If you care to watch this thing, then you're welcome to know what it is because it's pretty great. And if you watch enough of these things, you'll probably want to be involved, which is kind of like what I need. I need people who want to be involved either as consumers or just any, I don't know. I mean, like, just people want to watch, like, that even helps. Like, subscribe, like, like, what, like that boosts engagement. I'm not gonna like make my whole thing around like, remember to subscribe and like subscribe and like if you want, like, do it, like, like, help the thing out. But like, I'm just creating something that could be helped out by people if they wanted to, if they happen to have a specific issue that's similar to mine. Because now it's like, okay, well, like, I have to ask myself these questions. Like, okay, I have this specialized knowledge and stuff in this area, and I could do great things and help the world. Is it even possible for me to help people if they had the exact problem that I could help them with right now while I'm sleeping passively? Yes, it is, through YouTube and my online presence. So I'm also like I don't really understand YouTube. I think YouTube should like get less ban happy and like be more reassuring to creators, because like I'm also terrified that like they just ban me for no reason. Not terrified of that. I'd figure something else out, but I'm experimenting like, because it's just weird. It's like sometimes they just ban you and then there's like you're banned from things, and it's like, huh, like I haven't gotten banned yet from anything, which says a lot. But I'm like, what if I build a business and then I start getting banned? It's like, whatever, I'll figure that out then. So I'm trying to like build all these layers into it, and like watching Shark Tank and thinking about other business models and how these things all go. And it's like, it's a lot of ideas I have, but it all really comes down to conveying the special talents and skills and interests and knowledge and experience that I've built up, which right now is all being employed to help me continue sleeping, which I feel quite sleepy right now, but I'm just going to keep ranting because this is awesome. I love being sleepy and ranting. Like, that shit's great. Hopefully I just go pass out soon. We'll see. This is a sativa, so we're just going to see what happens. But like, I mean, if this process itself is entertaining enough, I mean, it's going to be entertaining to the right people. Like, I would watch this. Like, if I couldn't sleep, so I'm like, okay, I mean, this is something, and then I'll definitely rewatch this later in my own life. So I'm like, okay, whatever. At least it's good for me, so I like it. And then the book is going to be something I'm going to love too, and that's really cool. And then I'll have those things just for me. And I'm good right now. Like, I'm not going to die if I don't have money right now. So then I'll be in a good position to even convey to people. Like, let's say I had to go get like let's say like I was like, okay, like I need to make $500,000, and the only way I'm going to be able to do that is by working for another company. I'm not even going to be able to convey to them how skilled I am unless I write this book and do this stuff right now anyway, and fix my sleep anyway. So it's just like, this is just what it is I need to do. And I like I just, it's kind of funny just to film the whole thing, like, because it's like, this is just what I've been doing my whole life, and it's like, let's just film it. I mean, let's is just me talking to myself, but it's like, let's just film it, like, let's just, this is just how I think, and this is how this thinking has produced thoughts that have helped me at various stages, and it's all very useful and helpful, and isn't that cool and good and productive? And um yeah, I mean, the main thing though is I can refer back to it, and then that's pretty much it. Is that it solves the problem of me holding space, me making the daily sleep video, writing the book, and having a reference I can refer back to if I need to like understand exactly how I arrived at the conclusions that restored my sleep to whatever state it was restored to, and that might shed light on why my sleep is now deteriorating, if it starts to deteriorate again in the future, while also serving as documentation. So I can show people, be like, hey, what does it look like if someone's like trying to figure out his sleep problems with your methods? I'm like, hey, this is what it looks like. And then also, it's fun. Like, I'm just enjoying myself. Like, this is just really cool. Like, I'm happy to document the process by which I re-engaged my brain and like remembered, I guess, like, I feel like I'm remembering who I am. It sounds so melodramatic, but I'm like, oh, this is who I am. Like, I just love talking, and I love talking about cool stuff that I figured out, and this is what I figured out. So I'm just going to talk about this until I've got the book done, and then I'll feel nice and integrated, and then I'll kind of move on to whatever it is I move on to. But maybe after doing that, there's a whole bunch of people who understand what my skill set is a little better, and then that creates a whole bunch more opportunities for me to just continue developing higher and higher end products. Like, I just want to I want to make myself the healthiest, longest lived human being on the planet. Not like Brian Johnson. I think he's going in the wrong direction, but I want to like win ADCC and live to like 200, you know? Like literally that's like my goal. I mean, I just want to like have a crazy health span that like just demonstrates such mastery of this information that it's just that it makes up for all the pain and suffering I went through to get it, and I get to like feel that level of success in my own mind, and it's a cool vision, and it doesn't actually seem to be like I used to think that death was like inevitable and that or like that like death was sort of like very much built into us at a deeper level than it appears to be. Like you'll definitely die at some point, but there doesn't seem to be as definite of a expiration date as it initially appeared. And that's what precipitated my thoughts on longevity. It wasn't even like, oh, I want to live forever. I thought that was a stupid way to think. And then I learned more and I was like, but I don't think the way Brian Johnson's approaching it is at all accurate. So I want to test that. I want to test that on myself primarily. But just good old fashioned healthy living at higher and higher levels of analysis and better green tea and just make that all available to you guys. Write a bunch of books about it and then just run like the sharpest, keenest business that's ever been run in the history of mankind and like buy up significant portions of other industry. I got plans, you know? Got interesting plans. And it's like I have a lot of different ways that I can achieve those plans. This would be by far the most immediate and pleasant. And I would help a lot of people, which would be really cool. I'm still gonna help a lot of people, but this would just be like very kumbaya. Like I'd be very much. So we'll just see if it works because I have to go through the stage either way. And then on top of that, I can build other strategies of Google outreach, of SEO optimization, of TikTok branding, of Instagram branding, of that would be informed by research that I'm doing in the process of this whole process anyway. So it all sets itself up, and there's Kickstarter, and there's so many ways I can take this, and I've stacked them all on top of each other, and I'm going to document the entire process. That I don't want to spoil things. I'm going to start filming actually like stuff videos that I'll release later specifically about this. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna take this stuff like to the highest level I can take it, and I'm gonna see what direction that lands me in. But I am optimized for health, fitness, and high performance, baby. So, and the world needs that. So, when the world realizes it needs that, my bloodline will be there to oak that up and dominate. And the sooner that happens, like I mean, this is all like the reason I shared this level of the plan is because if you guys want to watch all my videos, get in on it and benefit and make it happen faster, that's cool too. But if you don't, then these will just be here saying I called it in 40 years, which is also cool. I don't know. It's my game, it's my thing. This is like the game I'm playing. It's a fun game. It's a necessary game. It's very engaging. I feel like I could go take a nap, honestly. Like, I really feel like I could just go, like, conk out for a minute. I may just go lay down and then wake up, eat some food, bang out my to do list. I may bang out my to do list. I mean, if I sleep again, I'll have even more energy, so it'll be even easier for me to bang out my to do list. And I have, like, more time tomorrow. I've already been going for over 2 hours. And I'm just like I feel like I could just like go get a quick nap. And I gotta pee again. And I just wanna like drink this tea. take a quick nap. That isn't very interesting. I'll probably just try to make sure the live stream is public before I take the nap, and then I'll be with you gentlemen tomorrow.